Well, hello everyone. Time appropriate greetings to all, depending on where you're at. Could be, morning, afternoon, night. If it is night, I really hope you did come because it's going to be a great webinar. So let's get started. My name is George Krasner. I'm a field solution architect here at TD SYNNEX, and with me we have Venki, who I'll let introduce himself.
Yeah, Venki, I'm founder and president at Indusface. I would like to add that I was the founding CTO of the company.
Yeah. So today we have an exciting set of topics for you. So TD SYNNEX and Indusface have actually been working together quite a while now on wanting to come up with an assessment to make it easier to check your web applications and make sure they're safe for you, make sure they're secure. But, high level, let's start with who the heck are we? So I'll go ahead and start. So my name is George Krasner, as I already said. I've been with TD SYNNEX for about 4 years now. I've been working on several different vendors and more newish to the security space, but trying to ramp up fast with Venki's help. We're getting pretty close, but very excited to go over it this with you. And let me pass it over to Venki.
Yeah, so I've been with Indusface since the founding days as a founder. So I wrote the first line of code, was the first deployment engineer for the first support engineer. So we have scaled from day zero to 5,000 plus customers, and currently my new initiative is to build a North America business. And the route to market for building that business is through the partnership at TD SYNNEX. So I'm based in Dallas. That's my home base where Indusface US office is headquartered.
Awesome. And as I already said, it's a wonderful partnership so far. I really enjoy working with Venki on all this stuff. Okay. So if my screen will move, there we go. So quick agenda for us. It's not going to be too crazy of a presentation. We want to kind of make this your teaser. Come to us afterwards. So just want to talk about, the TD SYNNEX and Indusface partnerships vision, what we're trying to accomplish together. And, Venki is going to actually go ahead and take us through the challenges that are faced by all the MSPs and MSSPs. Then he's actually going to talk about the free scan service that Indusface offers. From there, he'll talk about the opportunities for MSPs, and then in case you didn't know our history, Tech Data and SYNNEX used to be two separate companies, and then one day we mushed together in a merger, so we mushed the names together too. But we're a global company. We are here to help all of our partners or resellers and their customers to make sure everyone is successful. And we have access to the best vendors in the world and the best ISVs in the world. Indusface is one of them. So we're very excited to go through it. And one of the things we're doing with them is we actually have an assessment offered on the TD SYNNEX Solution Center portal. So if you've done assessments before, it's the same process. You'll just have an extra icon that talks about web application assessment. From there, we'll be able to take that information with you, do the assessment with you, and then at that point we'll talk about next steps, which would include bringing in Venki and his team to figure out, okay, do we need to go to the next level? We're very excited. So that's kind of our partnership. I already kind of just explained it, but you can tell that Venki.
I'm wearing the TD SYNNEX T-shirt to show that it's one TD SYNNEX plus Indusface in terms of reaching out to the MSPs. I'm wearing the TD SYNNEX badge today, if you notice, Jory.
Oh wow! I don't have that shirt. I think I'm going to have to call someone about that. That's awesome. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
All righty. So with that, I'm actually going to let Venki take over. Go ahead and pass it over.
Yeah. So as I can see, I'm wearing the TD SYNNEX badge, and we have an aligned goal of enabling MSPs and MSPs to kick off their web and API security journey. And we want to empower them and make it as easy for them in their journey to secure their customers. That's the common goal we are sharing. And as part of that common goal, we are very excited to launch this free web application and API scan. So Before I get into the details of the the free API scan and the offering, I want to spend some time on application security as a market category and some of the challenges in the end customers like SMB and mid market specifically, which are serviced by MSPs and MSSPs. Uh, Most of these customers, any business today, any business today will have a web application that powers them. It doesn't have to be a tech company. There can be some public facing web application that is needed for customer management, employee management. Maybe sometimes it is the business itself if you're a SaaS based SMB or mid market company. Um, and the problem with applications is that it's changing continuously. There are many moving parts. And because there are many moving parts, it's a certainty that there is going to be a vulnerability as the changes happen. And to fix those vulnerability, the patching and the different dev cycles that happens with the different moving parts that happens in the application is generally slow. Uh, if we want to do virtual patching through a firewall, they require very skilled personnel, which an MSP or an MSSP do not have for application security. Customers have limited time and resources. They are running at 150 miles an hour on their core business. Compliance, security, trust from customers are conversations they have as part of this business. And to keep up with all these things, the customers are really grappling and wanting a fully managed service and want their MSSPs to solve this pain point for them. Multiple tools is another big pain point that most of the customers have. Everybody comes and has a portal. We are no different. But at least from an application security standpoint, we try to piece together all the different pieces under one single portal as a unified platform within Indusface. And we offer it as a fully managed service focused on applications and API as the key service offering. We ensure that the entire life cycle of the application across exchange from risk visibility to remediation is taken care of completely by us. And by doing this and making it easy for the customers, we enable MSPs to be able to offer this service to the customer without having to invest in a full-time resource. Because at the end of the day, the key challenges for MSPs or MSSPs from getting into this business is first, they want to run a profitable business. Of course, they want to solve customer pain points, but do so by making sure their business is profitable. They want to make sure that while their customers are secure and safe and fully managed, they want to do so by making sure that they have enough time and they do not have to put a lot of investment and take the risk of getting volumes of customers before they get the ROI. So with Indusface, we take the entire heavy lifting of the application security end to end, from risk assessment to risk remediation and mitigation and to full management on an ongoing basis, so that the MSPs can take it to the customers and then build this capability as they partner with us. So those are the key pain points for the customer and the MSSPs that Indusface solves as a fully managed service.
Now, just to add some color, Venki, to that point, one of the biggest things that we saw customers, if you recall, a few years ago, Log4j was the big one where a lot of folks didn't have a capability like this yet. We realized a huge need for it. So just wanted to add that color in there.
Yeah. Thanks, Jory. Yeah, I think a lot of the customers and MSSPs I talk with, they acknowledge the need. They don't need to be educated about why security and application security is important, but there is nothing more frustrating than having a need and a hunger to solve the problem, but not being able to do so because of these pain points: lack of expertise, lack of time, too many moving parts, complexities, and somebody has to piece that together and offer it as a simplified offering. So the MSPs and the customer can focus on their core business and leave the application security to us. And that's a evolution we are seeing not just with us, but any OEM vendors are evolving towards offering some sort of a fully managed service around their products, at least without leaving it to the customers and the MSSPs. So Indusface is very happy to do it for the application and API security problem. Thanks, Jory, for adding that color as well. One of the things I want to talk, and I want to really carve out, application security is a big gamut of many different components to it. But risk assessment is the starting point before you start doing anything for your application. And the Gartner category for risk assessment, or broadly everything under risk assessment, is called pen testing as a service. Pen testing as a service has got manual components as well as automated components, or the automated components is called DAST. And the manual component is with a human using those automated components and doing it. So pen testing as a service will be done a lot more frequently. And those who do it a lot more frequently will have lesser window of risk exposure for the risk of their application. This is as per Gartner. Now, within the application security, I want to break down all the individual components of what the market has and what is it we are launching to get started with free in the joint partnership with TD SYNNEX that we are very excited to offer to all the MSSPs and MSPs to offer it to their customer. So any of your customers, the starting point is to get an asset discovery of what are all the public facing assets and APIs, web applications and APIs that I have. Once you have an inventory of public facing assets, web applications and API, the next step is to do a risk assessment of those public facing assets. And those risk assessments has got an automated scanning, which is a vulnerability check of your public facing assets. And then it goes deeper with verifying those automated scans to remove the false positives, provide evidence of the risk, which is called as proof of exploits, then go even more deeper through manual penetration testing. So these two points together is called as pen testing as a service. Now, at the end of this, you have discovered your assets. You have done a risk assessment of your assets through an automated plus manual intervention and go deeper with manual penetration testing. And you have a report that shows all your risks. The next step is to actually remediate them. And to remediate them, you require fixes in the code. And the fixes in the code, even though is the right place to do it, every application stack has got too many integration with third-party components. A vulnerability on any of those components puts the entire application at risk. On an average, it takes 200 days from the point of finding a vulnerability to fix them. Indusface offers and does a one-click remediation instantly within 3 days. From the point you click, we have a ready-made policy that can remediate them in the subscription model, and then it's verified by humans to make sure there are no false positives, and then it is fixed. And once you have this being done on a continuous basis, discover your assets, do the risk assessment, and then remediate them, and do this continuously, there are generic threat vectors and DDoS and bots and new zero-day attacks. Those things has to be kept up to date and managed on a continuous basis, which is also included as part of the subscription. So this is what Indusface does as for a living. To get customers started and to enable the MSPs to get the customers started in this journey, we are offering a free scan. And a free scan includes, for the customer, the MSP is giving it to do a risk assessment of their public-facing website. The report that we give will have the top 5 critical and high vulnerabilities that we find out, and it will be verified with a human. It's not fully automated. Nobody in the world currently does a human verified free service, which is what we are doing. For those vulnerabilities, not only will you do a free scan, but we'll also have a human verified check for the false positives and proof of exploits to make sure this vulnerability actually exists and give the proof to the customer so that they can take all the necessary steps to get started and fix them. That is what we are excited to offer it as a free service, no obligation free service that MSPs can offer to their customers. The first in the world to do this with a human verified component included in the free service. And this is coming from a vendor who is giving it free, not just for getting the first few customers. We actually are a well-established company with 5,000 plus customers globally, spread across 95 plus countries. but we want to grow from 5,000 to 50,000 and a lot more. And the best way to do this is to make it as easy for the customers who typically engage with an MSP and MSSP for their cybersecurity needs. And application security, as I said earlier, is a big pain point. We want to make it as simple for them to get started on that journey. In this phase, because of the success of customers and global footprint that we have been recognized and mentioned in all the analysts, Forrester, GigaOm, 451 Research. We have been the Gartner top right customer choice for the last 3 years in succession with the highest customer recommendation rating, product and service rating as well. We enable customers to meet compliance needs. And because we enable them to meet compliance, we ourselves have to make sure that we have all the compliance checkbox. We are ISO 27001 certified. Our infrastructure runs on a SOC 2 compliant infrastructure. We are SOC 2 compliant. Our remediation service on our AppTrana platform is a high trust authorized technical partner. Our infrastructure is PCI DSS compliant. We are cert and paneled as well. All of this in the product suite where AppTrana, Web Application API Protection is a product suite. Within that product suite, Indusface WAS, which is the risk assessment service, which has got the pen testing as a service component. Within that, an automated component with human verification is what we are enabling to get started for free that every MSPs can offer to each one of those customers. This is a snapshot of some of the logos and customer names that we have. AICPA, for example, is the writers of the SOC 2 document. So before meeting their own compliance, they are using our products. So here's the thing. Our growth strategy in the US is 100% channel driven. As we get adoption of our free scan and we get customer engagements through partners adopting the service, and the partners who are engaging with us to get those customers, we will start working with them, and each one of these logos that you see here will be passed to the partner with whom we want to work, because all these customers that you see here, especially from the US, have come to us directly and subscribed to our service through the website. We want to change that to be 100% channel driven. And not only do we pass the existing customers, we'll also be passing all inbound leads that we get. And in return, we want to enable the partners to do more with their customers, starting with this free scan service and grow our business and make some money jointly. That's enough of the talking. Let me get to the exciting part. I want to actually do a demo of the free scan. I will spend the next 5 to 10 minutes doing the demo, and then tell you how to get started with the CTA, and then open it for Q&A. So to get started with the free scan, because we are offering it through the TD SYNNEX partnership, TD SYNNEX will have in their portal way for the customer to reach out to the TD SYNNEX partner and say that you're interested in a free scan. Once you get into a conversation with TD SYNNEX will enable you, and you will have a ability to log into a portal. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I have set up a free scan service that is already active. All you need to do to start a service is you reach to TD SYNNEX. TD SYNNEX will just get the detail of the website of your customers, the MSP or the MSSP, and your customer for whom you want to start a free scan. We will just enter the site name where the free scan has to be started. And that's it. We can actually do an authenticated scan also, which is again one of the industry first. We actually, if your website is behind or an API is behind an authenticated page, we can also set up authenticated scan. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to say start scan with our authentication. And that's it. And that asset gets added into a free scan service that once the scan is complete, you will see the vulnerability. In this demo, I have already done all of this and set up a demo site which has got a free scan that has been completed. Here, there are 28 vulnerabilities that has been found. You can click on those vulnerabilities and get the details. the magic thing, the human intervention that I want to show is not only is it a free scan, it has got a human intervention that has eliminated false positives and showing you the evidence of that vulnerability that has been found on that asset with the request, response, header, screenshots, and proof of concepts and proof of exploits that shows that it is indeed a vulnerability. We do that for the top 5 vulnerabilities that we find. We do list all the vulnerabilities, but in terms of proof of evidence and the details, we do it for the top 5 in the free service because of the human element involved in that. And you can download the report. The report will look like this, free trial report. And you can get all the details here. The top 5 of the vulnerabilities, you'll find the full details, including proof of evidence in the report as well. And the remaining, you will see the vulnerability details and the URL details, but the evidence, proof of evidence and the payload details. For that, you need to go to an upgraded plan. If you go back to the point I mentioned in the product where I said that pen testing as a service has got a free scan, a full report, manual penetration testing, and then remediation. If you want to go to the next level from this free report on upgraded plan, you can reach out to TD SYNNEX, and you can, of course, upgrade to a higher plan through a license code and the SKU that they will provide to you. Now, I'm going to show to you a fully upgraded service that we have where you start with a free trial and then you upgrade to a full manual penetration testing. So when you do that, you will see the full report. You can see there are way more vulnerabilities, including manual penetration testing that has been found. All 497 of them, in this case, will have evidence, details, show more, all the details that you will find. In the free scan, you will get all the listings of the vulnerabilities, but the details with evidences is only for the top 5, which is part of our full scan, full PTaaS service that we provide. Starting with the free scan, upgrade to a penetration testing as a service. Now, at the end of this, the customer or the MSP has been got a visibility of all the risks. Now, the next step is they will need to fix them. And our industry data shows that it takes 200 plus days on average to fix a vulnerability from the point of identification. We have a next level of upgrade in the journey, free scan to a full report to full remediation. No prioritization, all needed, all critical high and medium vulnerability with a click of a button will be fixed within 72 hours. So in this case, I am going to enter a license that I have. Again, this can be provided to you by TD SYNNEX through our partnership with them. Click on this, choose the website where the scan has been done, and say I want to remediate them. All the vulnerability details gets passed, an account gets created. As we are configuring it in real time, a remediation policy is being created and ready to be deployed. But the human verification is the reason why we need another 72 hours to make sure that we have to onboard the customer, deploy them in safe mode, in monitoring only mode, make sure that all the live traffic that are passing through is checked against no false positives. And once we are 100% sure there are no false positive, within 72 hours, the patch gets applied. It gives you a summary of how many of the open vulnerabilities, because as soon as you do the Swift comply, a lot of them are automatically fixed with our out-of-box policies. There might be 25 more that in this case requires an additional custom rule that needs to fix them, and that will be happen in the next 72 hours. Once that is done, and the customer can go to and request go to the Swift comply login and get the Swift comply report. This is the Aptrana platform, which includes a vulnerability management service, the web application and API protection service, and within the vulnerability service for the website that we did the Swift comply. you can download the Swift Comply report once the patching has been done. And the onboarding for the asset has been done. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the Swift Comply report in this case. Uh, uh, this is the full pen testing report that I showed earlier, and this is a Swift Comply report. The Swift Comply report gives you all the vulnerabilities and the current status. Is it patched? If there is a vulnerability that cannot be patched through our remediation service and requires a fix in the code, we will call them out. In the demo, we don't have any such vulnerabilities, but there are cases where, in case it's an SSL version check on your web server, which is a vulnerability that requires fix on your SSL server and cannot be fixed through a virtual patch. So those kind of vulnerabilities will be called out and they have to be actioned by the customer. But everything else that can be fixed, more than 99% of the vulnerability generally get fixed through custom rule. More than 80% of them gets fixed out of box without any action instantly because of our out of box policies that has evolved through the learning that we have provided. So once again, to summarize, you can get started for every MSP can offer a free scan to every one of their customer, one free scan per customer. So you as an MSP have 100 customers, you can offer 100 free scans to their 100 customers. They get started with an assessment of one of their public facing websites and they can get a report similar to this, the trial report, the free scan report. And this free scan report has got a human intervention of A, removing false positive, and B, providing proof of exploit for the top 5 vulnerabilities. A free scan with a human intervention for each one of your customers. The next step is if you want to say, I want to do a deeper assessment after getting started with this, you can go ahead and get for a full pen testing as a service. If you as an MSP are already offering a pen testing service, you can go ahead and do it too on top of our scanning and provide a full pen testing report to the customer. So the customer has now seen the free report. They say, oh, I need to do a deeper assessment. It's a new business for you, the MSP or the MSSP, in case you have the practice to do, go ahead and do that. And you can send that report to us, or you can get the pen testing done from us for a deeper engagement for the customer, and then get them remediated in 72 hours, which is a Swift Comply. That's a 3-step process that we have. And I'm just going to go back and end the demo and would like each one of you and partners who are here to offer the free trial to each one of your customers. Once again, if you as an MSP has 100 customers, you can have 100 free trials for one free trial per customer, but you as an MSP can offer 100 free trials. For getting this activated, contact TD SYNNEX. And Jory, any final words that you want to add to it before we open it up for Q&A?
Yes, no. So for starters, thank you, Venki. That was an amazing demo. I really did enjoy it. And, I love the trust but verify type of scenario Indusface has put into place. The only thing I wanted to add on the TD SYNNEX front, so if you're looking to do these assessments, you're not 100% sure how to get started. If nothing more, just remember John and my email. What we can do is we can run the initial assessment with you for your customer, and we can start there, and then we can look into taking the next journey path, as Venki referred to it as, to get the customer onboarded to a deeper assessment, and we'll go from there. So we can help run that initial assessment if needed. If not, we can at least point you in the right direction of how to start signing up and go through TD SYNNEX. With that, that's all I've got before Q&A.
Fantastic. Thank you.